EXP. And in the upper right, in the red, our Zerg player, 1 of 2. He is
DongRaeGu.
Looks very focused right now. He's got that new haircut. And his
Terminator
opponent,
face.
yeah. Opponent to the top left and blue.
Impact.
You know, DRG actually spikes his hair up so much that when you see it down, it looks like a transformation has been made. It's like a...
He's no longer Super Saiyan.
It's like a clean, like, Season 4 Jaime Lannister cut, like...
Oh, yeah. He looks great.
He does.
I can't wait for Monday to, man.
Dude.
It's Game of Thrones. Did you see how pirated, by the way, Game of Thrones was?
I heard about that.
It was like the most pirated thing ever. There was a point in time where there were 100,000 seaters.
Well, you know...
I downloaded the episode, Wolf, in 40 seconds.
Mine was actually something like... I actually got it like 5 minutes after it came out, so it took about maybe 10 minutes. Damn. But it was like my you know, it was like almost 2 gigabytes like of the quality I got, so it was like pretty big.
We have Impact going for a pool first and DRG going for a hatch first, but I think this is going to be another game where we end up in the same place.
Yeah, you know what we might see on this game, because we're at these spawning locations that kind of mirror the habitation spawning locations, is the fight, instead of over a gold base, could be over a third that's taken early on, and, you know, trying to punish for that, but it's not as extreme. You know, DRG got his gold base up faster, and then just, like, it's an explosion of minerals that you get. It's not just, like, getting a third base and you trade off there, and your opponent can be like, okay, well, my third base is later, but I have more tech than you, because it's no longer equivalent when there are gold mineral patches.
Well, they're both scouting each other out. One a little bit quicker here. DRG will have a little bit of intel initiative. And his Impact Slings, excuse me, are going to be hatching there, but it should be very easy for DRG to prep for this.
Yeah.
And we're basically watching the production tab. We're going to have to wait and see if there's a big influx of lings or if they pull workers off of gas or something impactful.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty basic for a little while here. 6 ling commitment for Impact is actually quite a bit. You know, with this, he might actually be able to stop mining at his opponent's natural for a little while and maybe kill a drone or something. He forces DRG, of course, to make 6 lings of his own once he sees with the Overlord. He's actually just going to try to kill this hatching unit. I think it's 2 lings, so if he surrounds and kills those, that's like a little bit of a free kill there.
Little victories.
Oh, wow.
And yep, he got him to escape up the ramp.
Yeah, I mean, now he doesn't even need to really run. It's even ling numbers. It's all about micro here. And the queen pops out. That's why he runs. And that's it for now. And both players now basically at the exact same place in this game with a faster speed for DRG and extra minerals for Impact to get those extra queens out. And that's going to be the difference here. So you can see the income tab at the top right. Without gas mining, there's a bit of a difference there. You get a lot extra minerals. You basically have 3 more drones mining on the mineral patches, as you might expect.
Now there's a spine crawler coming up here for Impact. And that can be for 2 reasons. He might really be confident that DRG is going to attack into him. Or it might be a situation where he's just feeling like he needs to tech. And I'm sorry, what was that he almost made back there?
I think it was Evo Chamber.
Oh, no, it was actually a gas, excuse me.
Okay.
I thought for a second it was an Evo Chamber. I'm like, well, that's weird. You don't normally put it there.
Or even have it before you can utilize it.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Nice. So he has to make the spine and get those queens up there because he knows he doesn't have gas. So if DRG were doing some weird mass speedling, he wouldn't have a banding nest to counter that, and he needs to use those extra minerals to have those in place. And he will do the wall now with the Roach Warren and the Evo Chamber. Possibly later on a second Evo Chamber if the need arises. But I like DRG's position here because not only does he have a little bit of map control with the speed, he uses that to take a third base, and it's not much that Impact can do to deny it. And he's going to make up very quickly the extra minerals that Impact got from taking his gas late, and everything else for him is pretty ahead.
Okay, so we do have the paths branching off right now, and that's actually when ZVZ starts to pick up a lot.
Yeah.
We have one guy going for tech and a high possibility of aggression. We have DRG, who's going for economics. He's going for a period to end this later than when Impact would want to end this. So for right now, the narrative is really one in which Impact wants to try to end this game quickly. DRG, if he can outlast Impact and not suffer too many losses, he should win in the long run, although we do have situations where there's a bit more of a trade between both parties, and it does even out, and then the story continues from there. Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
Nice. 2 transfuses available. But that was like,
yeah, I was going to say,
initially like, wow.
Yeah, had those queens not had the energy, that would have been a game changer.
Yeah, that's what those extra minerals can buy you. Those extra queens. And if he picks off the drone, it doesn't matter if he loses every Zerling.
Minerals can't buy happiness, but they can buy wins.
Yep. And
then again, I guess getting wins is happiness. So.
Well, they can buy.
I take it back, guys. Money buys happiness.
They can buy a new hatch over here at the third base, but significantly later than DRG's.
You got to keep in mind, guys, with DRG's third hatch, this is 2 specific locations he has to defend from the ground, and that can be problematic because Impact can just pick the fights he wants to win if DRG is not completely on top of micromanaging both parties at both expansions.
True. 11 drones on the way here for Impact right now. He's trying to power up for that new third base. I would say shiny new third base, but this is a Zerg player. Not really anything shiny about them except like maybe the top of the spawning pool.
Maybe the creep?
Yeah, it's a little bit shiny at times. The trade-off for these two is that DRG has a much faster third, much better mineral income. He's about 400 minerals up per minute for a little while here until this base kicks in for Impact, but he's missing the Roach speed, and he's mined a little bit less gas in general while he's getting that base up. They're both now dead even at 55 drones. And we talked about the early game in this match. It was basically 2 different passes, same place. We're about to be at the same place for both players.
Yeah. Neither player opting to attack into the other one. I mean, Impact serving the situation, seeing, okay, DRG is actually not somebody I can attack into. I will transfer this into the next phase of the game. But do note that DRG does have a stronger army here.
He's down on
a little
upgrades.
Bit under 10 supply lead. That's true. He's down on upgrades. But sometimes the upgrades don't matter depending on how the engagement goes. This is a lot of Lings to tank that damage here.
Yeah, Roach speed out for Impact so he can close the distance a little bit faster. But will that matter with Lings tanking, like you said? And DRG, a lot more Lings coming through here, but here come the reinforcing Roaches down.
And you know what? Impact's looking like he's in fantastic shape. I mean, the Queens really helped out a lot there. And now he could continue to chase him all the way back. And yeah, the upgrades is in favor right now for Impact.
Yeah, it looks like it just evened up, but still.
Oh, yeah, excuse me.
The +2 is further ahead for him.
Yeah.
Definitely. And this is a nice little attempt here to kill this queen. It just so happens the Roaches pop out at the right time to save her, maybe.
So Impact backs off. Now, yeah, if he waits for his next upgrade, now that it has just finished, to complete, I mean, he might have his own counterattack on his hands. The army supplies right now are close enough, or they were a second ago. Let's see if he can catch up from here. Now, DRG, that was a pretty bold engagement. That was a lot of minerals he spent on Zerglings in the hopes that those Zerglings would, by the time they were dead, I guess you could say, by the time they'd sponged up all the damage, DRG would reign supreme in that front there outside that expansion. But it didn't work. And so from here, we have to see how DRG is going to respond next, because that was a very specific time in the game that DRG was hoping to end it, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. I mean, this is a mirror matchup where the defender's advantage is so great that oftentimes a small lead becomes just so insignificant because, it's, for example, the +2 that's out here fast for Impact, is it going to be enough of an advantage to make him be able to attack across the map and win the game? Probably not. So, like, it just becomes about the late game composition, who gets the faster first, or who gets burrow movement, like we see Impact researching right now, and then gets better harassment done, kills Harvesters, kills Queens. Because until that point where you're not just clashing Roaches against Roaches, the defender is always going to have more. Unless there's some other weird, crazy thing that happened before where one player has way more Roaches than his opponent, or one player is way out of position. It's not going to happen. This is a cool little contaminate over here to slow down that burrow movement research.
Okay, that next 1-1 getting very close now. tearing down the rocks there. He wants to have proper circulation since there is multiple avenues of attack.
Yep.
DRG, he's still staying at home. It looks like Impact is beginning to move out here. They're both maxed out, so from here it's really about how do you engage. The most typical way to win a Roach v. Roach battle is to send a small group of Roaches, sometimes even 2 pairs of small groups, out to different parts of the map, attacking the opponent's drones in different locations. When the defending Zerg tries to take out those 2 small groups, you attack in with your big group on the most exposed expansion. Now, at this phase of StarCraft II, this is like so standard that people are pretty prepared for that, for it coming right now. So we see nobody's opted to do that just yet. Instead, they're both taking a 4th base now and letting their minerals bank up. The mineral and gas lead a little bit higher here for Impact, but overall, I mean, this is a pretty even game, guys.
Yeah.
Burrow about to finish here for DRG. We don't have Burrow for Impact, right? I don't think we do.
I don't think so either, yeah. I recall him researching it. He has Burrow movement, though.
Okay, and as you can see, the Roaches are now going to come out here for Impact, edging forward. Is DRG prepared?
Well, he's got a decent setup with his Roaches here, actually, but I think this pack of Roaches for Impact is a little bit better, but here come more reinforcements.
Yeah, this is what happens when you get closer to where they can reinforce.
Yeah, I mean, this is the defender's advantage I was talking about. You just basically can't attack into Roaches and hope to win without some sort of other advantage.
Yeah, nicely done by DRG, really cleaning that up. But don't forget, Impact can remake, but that does lead the banking here for DRG to be ahead. DRG with over 2K. Impact at 1.5. The Roaches now coming up here for DRG, hitting Impact really hard right now.
Reinforcements pop out, though. And now he's fighting from 2 sides. A lot of these Roaches stuck into that DRG concave, though, and that's going to give him a bit of a lead. DRG already having the better bank, and he's trading, I'd say, slightly more efficiently in these fights.
Yeah, and from here, I think it might push Impact back a little bit further. We don't have any reforces on the mini-map coming up here, but DRG, oh, nice burrowing, and now splitting. Now, this is where, for the time being, if he can control these 2 split armies well enough and Impact isn't able to stop it in time, it can become a serious problem. He wants to at least get that one Roach up there. Meanwhile, he's going to try to hit these spine crawlers and these other drones. But, yeah, you know what? Look at the supply count right now. There's 140 now supply. It's fluctuating, but for DRG to 118 here for his opponent. If he just slows down the mining a little bit, regroups with his Roaches, and attacks in here again, I think DRG can close this deal.
Yeah, I think so. He just needs to, like you said, regroup. Although, Bank's actually, mineral-wise, in favor now of Impact. Gas bank here for Roaches is not as significant.
Yeah, so he can't. Well, I mean, he's getting gas pretty quick, though.
I want to see the production type because I don't know if +2 is actually on the way for Impact. I think so.
I believe it is.
But it's already done for DRG, so that's something to keep in mind. That one Roach on the high ground is not fooling anybody.
Lots of potholes there, man.
Well, I mean, yeah. I understand why production tab is not being shown because they want to show us, like, highlight the Roach
count,
numbers,
66
but like
for 63.
They're basically just going to be the same. Tell that from the army at the top right. Well, I don't know about +2 finish or not for Impact, but I guess we're going to watch this fight
This could be a pretty even trade. Well, actually, DRG, the concave does beat the convex here.
Yeah, there's only one infestor. It's not going to change the world. And DRG winning this fight swimmingly.
Yeah, yeah. This is pretty brutal, actually.
Yeah, this is the end.
Yeah, I mean the Roaches, the concave slowly closes in like the jaws of life. Now he's coming here. He's crushing his opponent. Impact is out of luck here. He is losing the remainder of his Roaches. He will lose his expansion. And judging from the supply plus the incomes right now, there's just no way that he can recuperate. We're going to have GG momentarily here as the rest of DRG's forces come in here and roll over his opponent.
This is how you can lose a game, by trying to make infestors, you know?
Yeah.
It was an investment that did not pay off. Didn't have enough infestors out in time. His +2 carapace was late. And DRG really finishes it. GG.
Well done, DRG. Yet another chance to prove himself here in Code S. He can't help but smile now as he defeated actually a very worthy opponent. Impact was very good, but that's a tough call. You know, when you're that late in Roach v. Roach, and you're probably thinking, well, how the hell am I going to engage him? I think I can safely get out investors. It's hard to know, though, who's actually heading minerals. That's a sticky kind of gray area.
You can never see your opponent's resource bank. And in this matchup, that's really important. You can't see his larva either, unless you're like flying an overseer to every base. It's really hard to keep track of that.
Even then, it's even hard to count.
Yeah, it's just basically impossible for you to know. The player who oftentimes tries to take a risk in this matchup and spend their gas that way can be killed just by pressure. So that's why this matchup has become almost completely Roach versus Roach throughout the entire game.
Well, I mean, you know, when one guy tries to advance to the next level, yeah, you can if you get there, it's good. But if they see it and they can stop it, then, I mean, what are you going to do? That's exactly what happened. Anyways, guys, that does it for today here at Group C, excuse me.
Yeah, here are results. Byung and DRG get out. Byung dominating the group, gets out in first.
Really looking forward to seeing him in Code S.
Yeah, and DRG continues to impress. Now, for our Group D matches that are coming up at 6 p.m., it's going to be about an hour and a half from now. We're going into Paralyzed versus Cure, and then Younghwa versus Super.
Do not miss out on that. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of Protoss action. Protoss is still doing very well now here in this in this current state of GSL.
Right.
They're not done dominating. So we're going to be back in an hour and a half. We're going to go grab a quick bite to eat, and then we're going to be back here at the studio. You should go do the same, and we'll see you in an hour and a half.